Thank you, Jean. I really appreciate the opportunity to share my passion and love for LinkedIn. Um, LinkedIn is a tool that you can use outside. Don't just think, well, I'm not a B2B, a business to business. I do business to customer. What is LinkedIn going to do for me? It's going to do a lot. People are using LinkedIn to find people, to do some research on them. They also use LinkedIn as a way to get rid of all of the noise of the other social media platforms. So LinkedIn is a great tool to have in your backpack of business tools. And I'm going to share my screen. Jean, can you give me, or Rob, thumbs up? You can see the screen. Okay, great. So we're going to talk about how to level up your LinkedIn look in 2023. It's not just important to have a LinkedIn presence. It has to be sharp. It's got to look good, and you have to have all of the things filled out. So we're going to cover a lot of these things today. I'm going to go really fast because I want you to take note of so many things. And I'm just scratching the surface here on LinkedIn. Keep in mind with a LinkedIn profile, when you have an all-star rating, which is a rating that means your LinkedIn profile is completely filled out, you get 3 times the traffic than somebody who doesn't have an all-star rating. Now, when you pull up your LinkedIn profile, you should see a dashboard. If you don't see this all-star rating, you still may have an all-star rating, but because it is kind of phasing, they're modifying it a little bit. But if your dashboard has suggestions like add this or do that, that means that you're not quite there yet. And we're going to cover some of the things you need in order to get that all-star rating. So here's just a sample of mine, right? I have a banner. Immediately, when you look at this, you know I'm into social media, right? I have my little tagline here. I've got some links to other things that I want to promote, my website, my Instagram, my YouTube channel. You can use this so that when people look at that banner, it's a billboard basically for your business. Promote yourself, right? Have your brand on there. This is a way that you can really pop. Don't just have that gray background. Don't just pick a random photo. Have it go into Canva, look into, they have all kinds of samples you can use and fill in the blanks. Have a profile. Now, I have a beautiful profile photo taken by the amazing Jean Turman. It upped my game. I've got to tell you, like, even though I had a kind of good photo taken by a photographer, it wasn't a branded photo. It didn't look professional. When people look at your profile photo, they're getting a glimpse of you, and that should reflect who you are. And of course, you want a headline. Now, I'm going to tell you a trick about this headline. The first 60 characters of this headline are critical. I'm going to tell you what that secret is in just a little bit. But don't just have it be CEO of Master at Media. Have it tell people what you do. And you can notice here, I put in that I'm a speaker. I work with businesses. I'm a consultant. I host a show, right? These are ways of getting more information about this. Now, in the chat, I want you to put the number 1, 2, or 3. I've kind of given you a hint by showing you mine, but what do you think is the best photo to use? Make this quick. 1, 2, 3 in the chat. So, Jean, who do we have in the chat that got it right?
Almost everybody. Good job, everybody.
Yes. The reason why we want to have this to be mostly our face, it should be, chest up, focused in on the face, so that when people are looking at you, they really do have a good view of who you are. We've got a professional background, a professional look. The background is solid. You could have a nice like kind of pattern background, maybe a brick wall, depending on what your industry is. This should be your look when you're at work, when you're in the business mode. So if you're a personal trainer, right, you may be wearing a t-shirt, right? You may have something that looks a little bit more casual than a business photo, right? Have it reflect who you are. Your summary is this. Now, this summary has to have things that are client focused. We want to share the fact, like I could somehow creatively in my summary, I talk about having 35 years experience in IT, but I flip it to how that 35 years in IT helps my clients or helps me help people, right? That's why I can answer Jean's questions in 5 minutes, because somewhere back in my 35 years, I solved the problem by spending hours trying to figure it out, right? This is the way you kind of make these pain points in your summary. And remember, they're also searchable, right? So think keywords. So I'm mentioning social media. Jean is going to talk about photography. She's going to be talking about business profiles. You're going to talk about things that are relating to what you do, but what people are searching for. Now, I stole Rob's profile here for a second because I wanted to show you something about work experience and education. Now, it's important that you put your work experience, and I put I don't go back to my high school days, but I put my professional work experience in there because you never know who's going to remember. Oh, I remember Maggie. She used to work at the City of Rye with me. Right now, we're making that bond, that commonality of what we did, the school, the education, what college I went to, and things like that. It's important to have those two things in there. And keep in mind, when you hit the more button on anybody's, not just your own, on anybody's profile, and you hit save to PDF, do you know that I get your digital resume that I can print out? It is really cool. Check it out because you want to do this for your profile to see what your digital resume looks like, because people can download your history. It's a very cool feature. Now, speaking of brand, you really should consider having a company page. A company page is, we've been talking about, is your personal profile, but a company page is your business. So personal profile would be Rob Genovese, business would be Unleash My Beast brand. Now, having, in this case, you can see the difference. If I have a company page and it takes tops 10 minutes to set up, I'm going to have the profile picture, which in my case is my logo. If I didn't have a business page, do you see this kind of graphic? It's some generic graphic that LinkedIn has, and it doesn't look professional. It kind of even doesn't look like it's a real business, right? And it's sad because your business could have been around for 35 years, but because you didn't set up a company page that only takes 10 minutes to set up, you're going to get this boring gray box that looks very uninviting. It's a way also, what I always say is secure your brand on every single platform, because you don't want people finding your competition by mistake. Now, skills and endorsements, you have the opportunity to put in 50 skills. I know you all have 50 skills that you can do. And this can come to, I don't care if you put in basket weaving, because remember, again, you are talking about building that common interest, right? So putting in your skills that other people can endorse and say, yes, Rachel is amazing at essential oils, right? Like these are things that are going to help you with your business relationships that you're developing online. I also say give as well as receive. So when you go in and you endorse somebody in one of their skills, guess what? They're going to get a notification that says, hey, so-and-so endorsed you, so go and endorse them on something they're really good at. Recommendations is another feature. It's sort of, it's LinkedIn's version of reviews. Now, remember when I mentioned that 60 characters were really important? Look at what happens here. When somebody leaves a recommendation, I'm getting their photo, their name, and their headline, right? You are basically cross-promoting yourself on somebody else's page in the nicest way possible. So leave recommendations, give recommendations, have a nice give and take ratio. The beauty of a recommendation on LinkedIn is that when you have to go in and look, by the way, it just doesn't automatically populate, because here's the bonus. When somebody leaves a recommendation, they are going to, you are going to have the opportunity to ask them to edit it. So maybe they call me Master at Media instead of Master it Media. Maybe they made a typo. We certainly don't want them to have a typo in their recommendation. You can ask them to modify it. They can modify it, and then you can accept it and post it. If you get somebody who's spamming you, don't accept it. It doesn't go on your page. So these are all the key elements to an all-star profile: a summary, experience, education, skills, endorsements, and recommendations. Now, these are my 3 C's of LinkedIn success. You have to, and I can't stress this enough, before you get to this step, it is very important that you do everything that I just said before this. Get your profile all-star rating, and then do this. Don't jump ahead and start doing this, because these steps are reliant on the fact that your profile is all set up and done, okay? And done in a manner that reflects your brand and yourself amazingly. So the first thing we're going to talk about is connect. Connect with people you know. Connect with people you don't know. But make sure that you add a little personal message. You have the opportunity to connect with people. If it's somebody you know, like say there's somebody in this meeting that you don't, maybe you're not connected with me. I'm going to want to connect with you on LinkedIn, but I'm going to mention, hey, we met at the TNEC meeting of Master Networks. I look forward to connecting at another Master Networks meeting in the future and here on LinkedIn, right? You're more than welcome to steal these and modify them to your heart's content. This is a way to also, you can, if you forget, where did I meet this person? Like we meet so many people in Master Networks with all of our people at Master Networks. Sometimes, did I meet them at TNEC? Did I meet them at Cranford? I'm not really sure. By doing this, you're also helping with a little memory reminder. People you don't know, get a little personal here. Like look at their LinkedIn profile, and instead of just saying, I'm impressed by your background, you could say like, wow, you went to Yale, or, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were into basket weaving. How interesting is that, right? Like whatever it is, give a little personality to it. You want to connect with people who are going to help you in your business, or who you can help, or who have people in their database and of connections on LinkedIn that are also the same as yours. Like for example, I, as a social media strategist, I love to connect to website designers. I love to connect to business coaches, accountants. Why? Because they all have similar connections to the people I want to connect with. Now, commenting. This is where you can get a little strategic as well. You can use the like, celebrate, care, right? All of these. Here is the level of points you can earn in the algorithm by hitting one of these likes and so on. What you're doing is you're getting, maybe I'm just going to use a point system to help understand this a little better. Maybe you'll get 1 point in that algorithm, right? When I comment, I'm going to get 2 points. When I share it, I'm going to get 3 points, right? So the more you engage in LinkedIn, the more it's going to reward you. When you are commenting, notice, remember that first 60 characters? I just commented on this post for Sherry, and you can see here, it puts my first 60 characters. In addition to that, I've got my photo, got to make sure it looks good, and my name. I'm also tagging Sherry. And then what I'm doing is I'm I'm highlighting things that I liked about her video. And I'm also, look, hey, you know what? She mentioned that you should hire a trusted advisor to help you with digital marketing. I agreed wholeheartedly with that. Why? Because I am that trusted advisor. And in addition, remember I said you can share this post. LinkedIn makes it easy for you to share this post by when you lead, you can lead the conversation by turning your comment into a post on your own page. So now you've just helped Sherry with her, her LinkedIn connections. I'm getting fodder for my LinkedIn profile, which is great. It's a win-win for everybody. And the last is communication. Look, people tend to look at social media as sort of this, I'm standing behind this kind of protected, little box where nobody can really see me, but we should be using this as an extension of our networking, how we personally communicate with somebody. And one of the things that you can do, LinkedIn lets you know when somebody's celebrating a milestone, like an anniversary or a birthday. Send them a message. It keeps you front of mind. It's a nice thing to do. And don't just say, hey, happy birthday, Jean. Just say, hey, happy birthday, Jean. Would you like to go get a cup of coffee? Or hey, happy birthday, Rachel. I really need to get that meta power because I want to get down to a size 10. Whatever the thing is that you have to make it a little bit more personal always helps. And don't forget when you're commenting on posts, especially your own posts, say somebody comes to, post I make about LinkedIn and says, hey, Maggie, sorry, I missed your presentation at TNEC. Are you offering it again? I'm going to reply, yes, I am. But what were you really interested in learning about LinkedIn? Then, maybe they answer, maybe this is something I want to take into a direct message and get a little bit more personal, because what happens is they get to know you in your feed, but you do your sales in the DM. So that's when you direct message people. That's where you can get a little bit more personal and they can get to know you better. And always look, the best way to be successful on LinkedIn, and frankly, any social media platform right now, is to be your amazing, authentic self. People are becoming more and more cautious when they're buying from people online, because it could look like you, it could sound like you, and it's not you. So when you are on LinkedIn or any social media platform, make sure, because you are your brand, you're the reflection of who you are. And we need to support each other in this way. So when you're looking at LinkedIn, don't just look at it from the lens of yourself. Look at how you can support each other in your chapters, in your network, and share insights and valuable tips. Look, I started really kicking it on LinkedIn about 2 years ago, and I, tripled my LinkedIn connections, and I know these people. Like now I'm connecting with them. I can share information. It's a great way to really level up your networking, take your personal networking onto a business networking platform like LinkedIn, and your business will grow. Now, as Jean will tell you, I'm always giving away things because I really do feel that in order for you to be successful, you need help. You can't just, live in a bubble, right? We can use something like this. You can scan this QR code, you can type in that address, and this will add you to my newsletter list, but it will also give you an amazing LinkedIn guide that will help you create that profile that I said at the beginning was so important for you to have nailed down. And it goes through details. It's a workbook that you can actually fill in the blanks and get your content done for you. Sorry, I drifted in my painless posting. It's a LinkedIn guide that you can fill in the blanks and you can get your LinkedIn profile laid out on paper before, if you feel more comfortable, before you do it online. So with that said, I am always here to help my Master Networks family, you can reach out to me at Master It Media on every major social media platform. I even have TikTok. I even have to update this. But here, my YouTube channel has tons of free videos. You can search LinkedIn. Once you get into my channel, it's youtube.com/Master It Media. And if you search LinkedIn, there are tons and tons of videos on LinkedIn. We have over 200 videos now on our YouTube channel to help businesses promote themselves professionally online.